girl, if you don't realize that he's the one for you. Look at him. He is shoeless and everything. Hi everyone, my name is Jessica and today I'm going to be reviewing a drama titled Reply 1997. If you want to see more reviews like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Reply 1997 is a drama set in Busan, South Korea that follows 6 friends from 1997 to 2012, where they go from high school to eventually adult life. I would say the main and most important characters are Song Si-won and Eun-Ji, but we definitely get to see and explore the other characters and their stories as well. Now, as we follow these 6 friends, there are a lot of references to life in the 90s, not only from a Korean pop culture perspective, but also a technology and overall generational perspective. Of course, this being a South Korean drama, we can't not talk about the love story that comes with it. Si-won is your typical fangirl high school student and lives next door to the parentless Eun-Ji and Yoon-tae-woong. As they progress through the story, we get to see how Yoon-ji starts to develop feelings for Si-won, but we never really know who Si-won's going to end up with, which becomes one of the main plots of the drama. This is definitely a slice-of-life growing pains drama, but we get to witness it portrayed in the 90s and in Busan, which makes it really unique. Reply 1997 was released in 2012 and is the first of 3 drama series that were created and released under the Reply title. This series is one of the highest rated Korean dramas in cable television history. It's garnered praises from audiences and critics for being well-researched, refreshing, genuine, and full of humor and heart. As a viewer myself, it's definitely one of the more unique dramas that I've watched, and I'll explain a little bit more why throughout this review. For now, let's talk about the actors and their chemistry. Now, the main actors that I'm going to talk about are Eun-Ji, who plays Song Si-won, and In-guk, who plays Eun-Ji. I consider them the main characters because more often than not, the story is told from their perspective, and it follows their individual journeys the most. First, let's talk about Eun-Ji. Eun-Ji is a member of the popular K-pop idol group A-Pink, and this is her breakthrough acting role. I had just started listening to A-Pink when I watched this drama, and since then I have definitely become a big fan. I would say Eun-Ji's voice is arguably the best in A-Pink, but I might be biased because I really like her. As for In-guk, he actually started out in his career by winning a reality TV show called Superstar K for his singing. This drama happens to be his acting breakthrough role as well. This show really propelled his acting career, and he's since been in multiple dramas. His voice is amazing, y'all. He often sings the OSTs for the dramas that he stars in, and when you listen to those tracks, you can definitely tell why he won that show. Now, I usually say this, but I think the actors did a great job with the portrayal of their characters. Eun-Ji portrays the role of the headstrong Si-won very well, and actually through this drama became very well known in the idol world for her Satori accent. I also think In-guk portrayed his role well, showing both vulnerability and stubbornness when needed for the character. The emotion felt right to me as a viewer, and I would say the chemistry between the two is amazing. They pull off this comfortable childhood friend dynamic very well, but they also are able to make you feel a little bit shy when they get close to having a romantic moment. You know, it's that young love, it's that puppy love, it's that child love that you see developing, and I think they portray that very well. Now, let's get into the storytelling. Reply 1997 has 16 episodes at about an hour each. I'm gonna be honest, when I revisited this drama for this review, I really thought it was a lot longer. They're able to fit in a lot of story into these 16 episodes, and because of the overall timeline that we're looking at, we definitely get to see the development of each character and of course the relationships between each character. I really liked seeing the bond between all of the friends and thought even the side character stories were interesting, especially Kang Junhee's. I feel like the issue he was facing is not something that's often portrayed in Asian media, so I really appreciated seeing it in this drama. There are a couple unique things about Reply 1997 that set it apart from other slice-of-life growing pains dramas. The first would definitely have to be the timeline in which the story was told. Now, I did mention earlier that the story follows the 6 friends from 1997 to 2012, but the way that the story itself is being told to us is not linear. The story frequently moves between the present, which was 2012 when this drama was released, and the past, predominantly sometime around the 90s when they were in high school. I thought this approach was super refreshing, especially in regards to Si-won's love story, because as I mentioned earlier, till the very end, it still leaves you wondering who she's going to end up with. Another unique thing about this drama is that the cast predominantly speaks in Satori, specifically the Gyeongsang or Southeastern dialect.
이거랑 소리랑 뭔 상관인데?
Now, as a simple consumer of Korean media, I can definitely tell that something is different and the way that they're speaking is different. but I couldn't exactly tell you what that is. Regardless, I think this brings about a nice sense of authenticity because the drama is set in Busan, which is on the southeastern coast of South Korea. Now let's talk tropes. What are some stereotypical things that we see in dramas that we're going to see in this drama? First, we have the childhood friends to lovers trope, and you'll find out eventually who ends up being the couple that does that. Of course, we have love triangles or love rivals. With Siwon, I would definitely say she's a strong female lead. She has so much energy and she's so headstrong. And of course, we have the ever coveted surprise kiss, as usual. Now, those are all the tropes that I found, but please let me know in the comments below if there are any other tropes that you found. Now let's talk production value. Everyone dresses up according to the time frame, which is of course the 90s. And there's even a cute little scene where Siwon and her friend go to get a makeover just to show how ridiculous some hair trends were back in the day. As they transition to adulthood, I definitely felt a shift in their vibes through their looks and their attire, so I felt like that was good for me. As for music, interestingly enough, this drama does not have a uniquely made OST because it uses a lot of era-specific music. However, as I mentioned earlier, the actors are both singers, if not at the time being primarily singers, so they did record a couple of songs for this show. I mean, personally, I love the songs, and I think their voices together are amazing. They can blend, they can harmonize, they hit all the high notes. You can just tell that they're singers, and they're so good at it. Now, oddly, there is this weird sound that they use often throughout the drama, and it's this like goat sound. Now, I'm not really sure why they decided to go with that, but you'll definitely hear it a lot in this drama. Now, to wrap up, let's talk about my favorite parts of this drama. First, I really liked the mystery that they held around Song Si-won's future lover. I mean, personally, I was absolutely rooting for Eun-Ji. Like, is that even a question? If y'all were Team Taewong though, let me know in the comments. I want to see what y'all are thinking. Like, why? I mean, there were definitely times when it seemed like it was leaning in favor of Eun-Ji versus Taewong, but then the next episode they would kind of shift, and then suddenly Taewong kind of has that advantage over Eun-Ji, and I wouldn't be so sure anymore. So I think the fact that they kept that element throughout the series was really interesting and unique. Now, I might be dating myself here, but as a 90s kid myself, I really resonated with the 90s nostalgia factor. I think they nailed it from the technology differences to the trendy items to the fashion, and I thought that was really cool. Aside from that, learning how the 90s were in Korea was actually something that I never really considered before, so I thought that was super interesting. Now let's talk about my not so favorite parts. Now, I'm not sure if this is just like a cultural thing, but there was like a lot of yelling sometimes.
뭐래 하기는 이상하게 지금 저기 쌀이 목구멍으로 넘어간가?
I watched this drama kind of out in the open in my living room, and my husband would be around. And whenever he would hear me watching this drama, he's like, God, turn it down. Why is there so much yelling? Or, oh, what's going on? And I was thinking maybe it's just like a cultural dialect thing, but I don't know. There's just a lot of yelling. Secondarily, there's also a lot of like, again, I'm not sure if this is like a cultural thing, but there's like a lot of hitting. A lot of like, ow, that doesn't look like you're playing anymore. It actually looks like it hurts type of hitting going on. I was kind of like, yo, y'all need to chill. I feel like it's a little too abusive. It kind of caught me off guard personally, so I didn't really like it. One more thing is that the pace can sometimes feel a little slow. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's 16 episodes, but I thought it was much longer. So I think the fact that I thought that indicates that it might have been a little bit slow feeling in terms of how the story progresses, but that could just be me. Finally, would I recommend it? Yes. Absolutely. Watch it if you're interested in the nostalgia of the 90s told from a more modern perspective, if you're interested in high school growing pains slice of life dramas, if you're interested in a love triangle that keeps you guessing, or if you're interested in Busan dialect, this might be a good way to expose yourself to that as well. And if anything, watch for Eun-Ji because I love her. That's my review of Reply 1997. Thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to comment down below any other dramas you'd like to see me watch and review in the future. Take care and be safe!